Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another reaction video. Today it is Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to every single one of you out there. I hope you have love in your life that you are having fun with on this day. I hope you get plenty of goodies and stuff and whatever happens on this day. I don't know, I haven't had a Valentine in like ever, so I don't know what this day is about. But anyways, if you could do me a favor, please hit the subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let's get this thing to 4,000. What I want to react to today is another plot twist video. This time it's Angie J, and it's called This Woman is Rotten. But by judging by a lot of the comments in here, it says that Angela Johns is probably the most controversial patient. And so is she worse than Stephen Asante? I don't know. We will see. I don't particularly remember this person because I haven't seen all the episodes. So I guess we will take a good look here and see what she's like. Let's get started right now.
My plan is to show Dr. Now that he's wrong, and I'm making progress.
Well, right off the bat, I mean, if you're trying to prove Dr. Now wrong, he's a medical doctor. That shows you have all kinds of ego right there that, you know, you think you're doing good, and Dr. Now tells you you're not doing good, but you think you know more than him.
600-pound life has an overwhelming amount of inspiring stories about patients trying to better themselves and overcome their crippling food addictions. Angie's story is not one of them. While she did take the initiative to reach out to Dr. Now, just about everything she does goes against her own self-interest, and she refuses to accept blame for any poor decision. So subscribe if you haven't already, click that bell, and let's dive deep into one of the rudest patients in the show's history.
The life I'm living right now is miserable. I have made myself a prisoner in a room inside of my home.
And the thing about making yourself a prisoner is that you have the key to get out of that prison. It's going to take some time, it's going to take some work, but you can parole yourself. You can engage in whatever activity you want to moving forward to change your habits and to get out of that self-made prison. I mean, I'm doing it myself, like I said, and in just a few short months, what have I been able to do? I'm able to do a lot more than I could do before. I'm not as miserable. I'm not in as much pain. I'm able to cook for myself and clean for myself and take care of myself better and not be so out of breath doing the very small things that I used to do before. I mean, it's very much a self-made problem. And all you got to do is work at it. Do some research. Find the right kind of diet that you can do for the rest of your life. Stick to it. Get involved in a support group. Find a dietitian if you're financially able to do it. If you are over 600 pounds, it's very likely that you are on some kind of state Medicaid or something that can help you get into a bariatric program and get the help that you need. And I highly recommend weight loss surgery for anybody who just can't do it on their own. I mean, it's a last-ditch effort, of course. But if it helps you, even just being in part of the program and having access to a dietitian and a therapist and stuff like that, you don't actually have to have the surgery, but just get part of the program, get some accountability. It'll help you out.
Angie's story starts off similarly to a lot of patients featured on the show.
Food is the only thing that helps me deal with the misery of my life, and I constantly need it because I constantly need to
I mean, if that's how you feel, that food is the only thing that can help you escape the misery, you're just heaping on more misery to yourself. Food isn't actually making you happier. That's just what you've convinced yourself to believe. Food is actually adding to your problem. But because you feel a little bit of pleasure for the few seconds that you're eating, you need to consistently eat throughout the day to get that same pleasure. So once you actually get rid of that addiction in your life, you can find some new things that give you pleasure. Your life will be less miserable once you get rid of your food addiction. Things will get so much better for you when you're able to be mobile, when you're able to do things. Again, you're putting yourself in a prison, and then you think it's the only way you're able to cope with things is by eating, and that's not true.
and I have to have what I want.
Right away, we see a lot of unideal language that foreshadows just how difficult the patient she's going to be. She needs to escape. She needs to have a lot of food around the house. She needs to eat whenever she wants.
I know that.
Judging by her family right here, it looks like, you know, she is very much teaching her kids the same eating lifestyle that she has. Of course, they're enabling her. I don't know if they're in an abusive relationship where they're forced to feed their mom, and they have to take care of their mom like so many other parents on the show have their kids serving them hand and foot and cooking for them and whatever else. But it looks like their kids are indulging in the same lifestyle that she is. So again, it's not just about her and her own problems. She's dragging her kids down with her, and that's disgusting.
That I'm at a very bad place in my weight right now. But the problem is there are almost no options out there for people like me.
All right, so she's aware that
There's lots of options. There are bariatric clinics in almost every city in the country that you can be a part of.
she needs help, and that's always the first step of solving any problem, is admitting you have one.
I called Dr. Now a few days ago, and I got an appointment for next.
I mean, yeah, like the moderator just said, you know, if there's a big problem and you want to admit that there's a problem, that's a good thing. That's a good start. But you're already self-defeating yourself if you say, well, there's nothing I can do. There's no programs out there for people like me. There are lots of programs out there. There are lots of ways you can get help. There are support groups online. There's so many different things that you can do. So don't defeat yourself by saying, there's nothing out there for me. There's nothing I can do, blah, blah, blah. You're just defeating yourself.
Next week. And I've been talking to my family about the idea of all of us moving to try and get the help I need.
Well,
So I need to know if you're on board with going to Houston, because your boyfriend is giving me about it. I think that he's mad from the other day when there was a conversation that if I was to look for a doctor in another area, he insinuated he didn't even want to come to Houston so I can get the help I need.
and we're right back to the red flags. Look, it's not my place to say who's right in this situation. It's clear that Angie's recalling a very opinionated version of the events.
First of all, you can go cussing at me.
Oh,
That's where we can start at. Secondly, I'm gonna Google for a store and you're gonna go to the store.
If it's not close, I'm not going.
No, it's your point of your attitude. You've had an attitude since we left home, and you can go back home and I have my brother come here. Believe that.
These two are already at each other's throats, and they're not even in Texas yet. They're having this type of fight over how far Justin is willing to drive for food. Imagine how it's going to be when Justin has to say no to some meal that Angie wants.
I mean, that's a point of contention, too, with family members who, you know, don't want to enable you, and how are you going to treat them? Of course, he doesn't want to go to Houston. He cares for her daughter, you know, his girlfriend or whatever, but it's like, why does he have to enable you in everything that you do? They're not even at Houston yet, and she's already pushing him to go get some food. So that's a point of contention in a lot of relationships.
That's a little bit of a shock. I just realized that I'm 39 years old, and that amount of weight, I'm worried that I'm not gonna have enough time to get rid of it.
Wow, she's only 39. I thought she was a lot older than that. She looks older. And her kids don't look like they're, you know, young enough to have a 39-year-old mom. But yeah, once you start hitting that 38, 39-year mark and you start looking at 40, you're like, wow, I'm almost middle-aged. I haven't even lived yet. I mean, that's really a lot of what set me moving forward to decide to lose the weight now.
Angie clearly didn't think she was going to be 600 pounds, and she cleared it with room to spare. The Angie we saw earlier in the episode wouldn't respond well to this, but maybe this is a wake-up call and a chance for the star patient to really start turning her life around.
So, are you able to be active?
No, not really. I injured my knee in 2011.
The best thing to help your knee will be to lose weight.
I know I have to lose weight to fix my knee.
Well, that's some sign of progress. Are we?
I mean, that's exactly what they told me, because both my knees got busted. I busted one when I was 13 playing football, and it never really healed correctly. And then the other one started hurting in the last year really, really bad, I think due to weight-related problems. And so I've tried over the years, hey, my knees are bad, I need some help, and the doctor won't do anything about it. And, of course, she says the exact same thing that Dr. Now just said, that if you lose weight, that'll help your knee. There's nothing that they could do. They can't do surgery on it, because at my size, if I tried walking on a surgically repaired knee, I'm just going to damage it again. And so the only thing that I can do is lose the weight first, and then I could look at getting knee surgery or whatever I need to do for my knee. So, you know, I just have to deal with the knee pain. Since I've lost all this weight, my left knee does not hurt anymore, and neither does my right knee. I mean, there was a weather system that came through like a week or two ago, and it caused a little bit of discomfort, but nothing like it was. I had no problems walking or anything like that.
Are we getting some real growth here?
Justin is enabling you, but he is not overweight. So let's talk about his eating habit.
He eats more than both of us.
That's physically impossible.
Oh boy, here comes Dr. Now. We all know that he does not suffer fools, and Angie's warping of reality.
I mean, that's one of the big myths, right? We see somebody who's skinny and we say, wow, he eats more than I do. And yet you're 600 pounds and he's skinny. It's like, I understand that some people's metabolisms are stronger than others and some people can get away with eating a little bit more, but it's physically impossible to say somebody who's skinny eats more than someone who's 600 pounds. That's just not true.
Is not gonna fly.
And
I mean, it's just an excuse that we use to try to justify and say, well, you know, my body just doesn't lose weight. And I've used it my whole life because I'd say me and my sister, we ate the same thing and she would run up the stairs and burn it and I would go back upstairs and I would gain 5 pounds from it. You know, I used to say that all the time, but it just wasn't true. You know, looking back, I know I always had second helpings. And I always finished off the dinner and whatever it was. And my sister didn't eat as much as I did. So I continuously gained weight and she was more active and everything else. And so that's just a lie that we tell ourselves. We're like, wow, you know, this person eats more than I do. And look at the difference. I'm so big and he's not big. It's just a metabolism problem. It's a genetics problem, blah, blah, blah. It's not true.
you can lie all you want, but this is all science and math. You seem like a master manipulator who thinks she can just decide what the facts are she wants to believe. You realize that this is a very dangerous situation when you're 39 and you are 643 pounds.
Dr. Now has never shied away from calling them like he sees it, and he basically just shut down Angie's entire method of deflecting blame in less than a minute.
So I'm going to give you a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet that you need to start today. If you do that, you're going to be able to lose 50 pounds in 1 month. And if you hit that goal by then, I'll approve you for weight loss surgery.
Dr. Now gives the goal and diet in a very straightforward manner. It's not rocket science, and Angie only has herself to blame if it doesn't work.
My life is all over the place right now. Justin is no longer here. We have separated. We got into an argument.
Oh, so Justin was her boyfriend. Okay. I thought it was her daughter's boyfriend. And so they were fighting, but it's her boyfriend. And so they separated and he would not enable her anymore. And apparently now that she's going down to Houston and trying to lose weight, he's out of there, right? He wants nothing to do with it. He enjoyed being a chubby chaser, or maybe he got tired of being blamed for enabling her. I don't know what it was, but that makes sense now. I totally misjudged who he was.
And he was under the influence, as usual. It was a stupid fight he created because he didn't want to go to Texas. And the whole time, he knew he didn't want to go.
I mean, that's just a sign that you don't love the person that you're with. You're there for an arbitrary reason, such as a kink or, you know, I was talking about in yesterday's video. I don't understand the chubby chasers and why, you know, people only date somebody because they're fat. And it's like, is that the only real connection that you have with somebody? Is the food? Is their fatness enabling them? And as soon as that stops, as soon as you decide you want to get your life back in order, like, it ruins a lot of relationships. And I think that's sad because you convince yourself that this person loves you for you, but in the end, they only love you because you're fat or some other arbitrary reason that doesn't even matter.
But he never said that.
With Justin out of the picture and Desiree and Will clearly not having their hearts invested in this move, I can only imagine the bundle of joy Angie will be once she makes it down to Houston.
3 months since my appointment with Dr. Now, and I was supposed to be back down to see him for my follow-up a couple months ago. But with my husband leaving me, now I'm on my own. And that's just another thing.
I'm not saying there aren't obstacles in Angie's way, but it's clear she's using Justin's absence and Desiree's baby as an excuse to fail.
I mean, that's what a lot of people do on the show. They use any amount of struggle in their life to say, I just can't handle it right now. I don't have the time to diet. I don't have the right situation. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. Like, that should be the perfect time to decide. Like, you don't need to be having everything perfect in your life to decide that you want to eat right and lose weight. But you're so emotionally attached to food that the only way that you're able to take care of yourself and to make yourself feel better through a breakup or a death in the family, something like that, is to eat. And that shows how much of a problem food is in your life and that you're an emotional eater.
That's unacceptable. If you are playing games with me, isn't gonna work. But if you're serious about it, change your life and stick with it.
And to the surprise of nobody, Dr. Now isn't happy with Angie cheating on the diet, and you can see her patience is starting to wear thin.
I think doubling my goal is just punishment because I missed my appointment. If I lose 50 pounds, then that should be more than enough to get weight loss surgery. And if I could just lose all this weight, I wouldn't need his help. So he'll see he's wrong at my next weigh-in. And the only thing he should have to say then is, I was wrong, Angie, and good job.
Yep, tensions are running high, at least on Angie's side, but for the time being, she isn't actively taking it out on Dr. Now.
Dr. Now is sending me to a local clinic to get my weight checked. My plan is to show Dr. Now that he's wrong, and I'm making progress.
Yeah, I'm sure this will go well.
You good? I'm good. I'm clear.
I mean, how delusional do you have to be to think, even though you've been eating like crap, that, oh, I've lost weight, I'm doing well, I'm progressing well. Dr. Now is totally wrong about me. Like, he's been through this. He knows what you're doing.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm only 45 pounds.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I mean, she's lost some weight. I can give her congratulations for that. She did some work. She didn't lose as much as Dr. Now wanted her to lose, but she showed some progress.
That's close. Don't beat yourself up for that.
Grab some popcorn, kids. The stage is set for the ultimate showdown.
So, look like you almost lost 50 pounds, huh? That's a little progress. But you're supposed to lose 100 pounds in 2 months. And on top of that, it's been 5 months since you were here.
I mean, I sometimes think Dr. Now gets a little too strict. And I know when I say this in the videos, some of you come at me and say, Dr. Now knows what he's doing. You should easily lose that much weight and whatever. But losing 50 pounds in 2 months is not bad at all. That's 25 pounds a month.
At this point, you haven't shown me you're taking this seriously as you need. But since you lost 50 pounds, we give you another chance to stick with your diet and try to lose another 50 pounds. Okay?
Dr. Now's not backing down from his 100-pound requirement, and he doesn't seem pleased at all that she only lost 45 pounds over the past 5 months.
Are you taking any medicine?
All right, it's been 5 months then. I take back my rant. It's been 5 months. I thought it was 2 months. But maybe, I don't know. I'm confused. This is I don't know.
But you don't sound very normal.
Am I taking medicine?
Yeah, are you taking any drugs or anything?
Uh-oh. Angie's a recovering drug addict, so I'm sure it's been in the back of Dr. Now's mind this entire time.
If you're wait for surgery for another month, I'm not coming.
Heaven forbid we waste any of your time while you waste ours with your lies and games.
Good
Dr. Now, snap. That's what a lot of these people don't understand, is just the amount of time that they're wasting when they could be working on their weight loss goal, and they're just wasting so much time. And Dr. Now just let her have it. Like, heaven forbid we're wasting your time while you're wasting ours with your lies and your BS and your drug addiction.
Lord, Dr. Now, if the smoking and eating doesn't kill her, that bird will.
So now I just want to get moved in because I have my appointment with Dr. Now in a few weeks. And
Oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
it doesn't matter.
9 pounds since the last weigh-in is nowhere near the 100-pound goal we were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, she absolutely did not try. I mean, that was awful. 9 pounds is hardly nothing at that size.
So there's really no reason for Dr. Now to tell me I'm not ready for weight loss surgery. Other than he likes getting people to jump through hoops. But I'm not going to let him get away with that with me. Dr. Now is not the almighty God.
There you go, Angie figured it out. Dr. Now's formed an incredibly successful medical practice based around making his patients as miserable as possible.
To start, we can see that you're a heavy smoker and you've been hiding that from me. And that's not the biggest issue because we also found narcotics.
I have marijuana in my system.
Don't play games with me. There are multiple other narcotics we've...
I mean, she's an absolute addict. I don't know what she went through in her life, but not only does she rely on food for comfort, but she's a heavy smoker. She's into many drugs. She smokes pot. She has many other narcotics in her system. hard drugs. And so she's definitely trying to cope with something. She's just trying to fill that center of her somehow, trying to stimulate that pleasure center of her brain. And, you know, it's tough when you get to that point in life. You're only 39 years old and you're just so miserable that you just cannot get happy no matter what you try. But at some point, you got to realize that you're heaping misery onto yourself. So I don't know what it's like to have a drug addiction on top of a food addiction, because I've shared with you guys many times that I was addicted to pain pills while being overweight. And so a lot of that is when I was trying to lose weight at my sister's house when I was living with her for a time. You know, not having that food and having my food constantly watched, like it was very difficult at the time. And so I relied on a pain pill addiction to give me that same pleasure that food gave me that I couldn't have at the time while I was losing weight. So, I mean, addiction transfer is real. That's why they told me to never drink again after weight loss surgery, because not only does alcohol affect me differently because my stomach is much smaller, they see that after about 2 years after weight loss surgery, a lot of people transfer their addictions to alcohol. So pain pills, the same thing. It's all possible because you haven't worked out the mental part of it yet. It's not all physical, like a lot of people think it is. It's not just telling somebody to go eat a salad. It's mental. They're overcoming a lot of trauma in their life. And so it's very easy to transfer one addiction to another because you still feel empty inside.
Smoking and multiple narcotics, something tells me that stuff isn't on Dr. Now's approved diet.
It's extremely offensive and utterly unfair.
So that means the blood tests are wrong and you lied when you admitted to doing everything Dr. Now accused you of? Come on, Angie, do better.
Well, I wouldn't say she's a worse patient than Stephen Asante. I mean, she probably is in the most denial, while Stephen Asante is the most psychotic patient on the show. So, yeah. I'd probably label her maybe number 2, right under Dr. Now. Right under Stephen Asante, as the worst patients on the show. She's definitely the most delusional. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. I appreciate you watching. If you could do me a favor, again, please subscribe, please like, please comment. Check out my About section. I have all kinds of links in there. Anyways, I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for all the help that you've given me and the support and the love and the kind words and everything else. I greatly appreciate it. I love you guys too. Have a great Valentine's Day. God bless you.